Hey guys, it's been a crazy weekend. We just came back to camp. It was pouring down rain. We had an encounter with the 10 that you guys have already seen, and we had an 8-point come in, chase everything off. Shooter buck too. So I'm going to explain a little bit why you're seeing these bucks, but we're not shooting them. The property we're on, the landowner is very, very conscious about white-tailed deer on his property. This is the first year in 7 years that anybody's been able to shoot a white-tailed deer. So there's strict restrictions, and we don't have a guide with us to tell us, yes, that's a good one, you can take it, you can't take it. So we've kind of been videoing, going back, talking to them, video and going back. And so now we have 3 different bucks that you have already seen on film that we can take at our leisure. So Sam and I are back out here. The rain stopped. We have a break between now and 6 o'clock this afternoon, so we're going to get back in the stand, and hopefully any 3 of these bucks are going to show up, and we're going to drill one. So stay tuned, and we'll catch you on the flip side.
So we went back to camp after it started pouring down rain on us, borrowed a little bit of rain gear, it turns out, and got back out there for the evening, and I think you can agree it was a little bit discouraging when we first walked in there. We got in the stand, we got in there really late, and it turns out we were running deer out of there as we were walking into the stand, and one of them was a buck on the hit list.
That's right. It was pretty disappointing because anywhere else, that'd been it. You wouldn't have seen anything. But Sam and I really believe that we set our stand up right in their bedroom. So we go back, and we finally make it to the stand. Get everything up there. We're sitting in the stand. Everything starts coming back. But none of the bucks from our hit list are there.
We had a young 8-point that we hadn't seen yet. He came in, first year to come in, and you know, it was very encouraging. We'd been in the stand 15 minutes, and Chester's leaning over to me saying, "Hey, there's a buck coming in," and right off the bat, here he comes. Young deer, clearly, not one that we can shoot, but it was only a matter of time before the rest of them started coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah. The ironic thing that you're going to see is that the number 1 hit list buck that comes in actually gets ran off several times by this younger buck. And it was kind of discouraging because every time that he would get somewhere I thought that was going to bring him into range, that younger buck, he ran him. At one point in time, he ran him across the dry creek bed, and I thought he was gone. And I'm looking at Sam going, man, what the heck is going on here? He's persistent. He's coming back for the food. comes in, and you're gonna see he comes in, and when he does, he noses right at me at 15 yards, and I draw back, and I'm holding it, and I'm holding it, and I'm holding it some more, and I get to the point where I'm gonna start shaking really bad and make some noise, and I'm gonna spook him off, so I have to let off, and I let off real easy. Luck would have it, we had a deer come in behind us, which was facing him, and when he did, he started backing up and turned, and when he did, I drew again, and he ran out there about 10 more yards, and I put it on him, and Texas. We're out here on 11,000 acres. Sam and I have been out here all stinking day long. I'm shaking like no other. You just shot a freaking giant, buddy. We still got bucks right here. Oh, yeah. Let's get down, put a tag on this bad boy. Get him back before dark. What do you think? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Right there, baby. That's what we like to see right there. A grave digger. Look at that, man. Is that not a nice deer? Yeah. Heck yeah. Let's get a tag on him.
This segment of Fall Obsessed Outdoors is brought to you by DM Bullard Leather, custom leather belts and holsters for all your leather needs.
Alright guys, so it's Saturday morning. We got a lot of rain last night and it's continuing to rain kind of off and on this morning. Chester shot his buck last night and got him all taken care of, so now I'm up going to try to shoot an axis doe or something this morning. They're kind of skittish, kind of hard to get in on this time of year it seems like, so we're actually going to be doing a little bit more spot and stalk from the Ranger today, and probably be busting out a rifle to see if we can get one with one of those. So stay tuned. Hopefully we'll have another one on the ground for you here in just a little bit. So we're driving around, and it's not just axis that we're seeing, but just everything else. It's unbelievable the amount of animals we're seeing out there. We see whitetail bucks, I mean, bigger than anything I've ever laid eyes on out in the wild. The red sheep were, just herds of them running around was very impressive. Black buck were everywhere, and you know, did come across a few herds of axis, and you know, tried to get it done a couple of times.
What y'all don't see is that how fast this happens. It's not like you pull up and you look out there and you get to take your time and anchor down and just make the perfect shot. It's you're going and you see a herd of axis deer and you pick out the one that you think that you want to shoot and you better make a shot. Sam has somewhat of an excuse because it was rush shot, but not really.
Became pretty clear that I shot under her. So at that point, it's back on the buggy and try to find another one. That's the benefit of being on an 11,000 acre ranch. It's a target rich environment, and if you mess up a shot opportunity, you oftentimes don't have to go far before you find another one.
That's right. And luckily, Sam, he was on target on one of them.
Y'all gotta say something funny about it.
Sam's axis deer. Perfect shot.
I killed the biggest mesquite tree in Menard, dude. I mean, come on.
He did. I can attest.
What do you have to say for yourself, Sam?
I think I'm gonna retire. I'm done. Rifle hunting ain't for me. Give me a bow.
So one of the things about hunting that a lot of people can attest to, especially if you're one of those guys who likes to self-film his hunts, is that sometimes it doesn't always work out to have a camera with you. And for us having a show like this that we're starting and everything, you really have to dedicate yourself to putting a lot of time into filming and everything like that. And we certainly did that on the trip. The second day really didn't yield much for me. There were many other hunters that punched their tag and got an animal on the ground, but I was not one of them. I'd be lying if I said I didn't have the opportunity to, but it just didn't work out for me. So it came down to day 3, the last hunt, and it was make it happen or don't make it happen. And we split up into smaller groups than we'd been traveling in before, and I did have the privilege of taking my first axis deer. I shot a doe at around 200 yards with the rifle and pretty well felt like I redeemed myself on that shot. It wasn't, I can tell you since it's not on film, it was a very difficult shot.
Yeah.
And but no, I got my axis on the ground. Unfortunately, it's not on film to show you guys, but it definitely was an amazing experience to be able to do something like that.
Yeah.
So, and I think that can be said for the whole trip.
Yeah. And Sam and I both want to give a huge thanks to the guys that invited us down, and they showed great hospitality to Sam and I. They were more than grateful for letting we were more than grateful for them letting us film. A lot of people don't want you filming their ranch or their thing or whatever it is they got going on. These guys were more than happy to let us film and for our show, and would really like to thank the guys that asked us to come down, and we really appreciate you. And I can't say enough about Gravedigger broadheads. They do the trick. And I can't say enough about UPWIND. You know, we're in this stand, and most of the days that we're there, the wind's swirling 15 to 25 miles an hour, and Sam and I never one time got busted by a doe, by a buck, or anything. So if any of you guys that don't use UPWIND or don't know who UPWIND is, they're a scent control company that we use and that we'll only use. And if you've never used it, you've got to try it. It's some of the best on the market.